Hare Krishna, my friends. Welcome. Friday night is Bhagavatam night here in Bhaktiville. Last week we read verses 2 and 3 from the first chapter of the first canto. One of the salient points was that as soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, he becomes attached to the Supreme Lord. We're not saying that submissively means that you take it all in without questioning. While listening, we may have questions. That's normal. Asking questions in a mood of wanting to sincerely know the answers is also the approach given here. All of Srimad Bhagavatam is gifted to us to develop our relationship with the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. So let's continue with verse 4 tonight. We're on page 80 of the PDF or page 59 of the book. Before I get started, I'd like to welcome everybody. Bhaktiville is here doing our technology. Ashra is here. Kandita is here. And welcome to all of you who are listening to us live streaming on Facebook. Welcome. Let's offer some prayers first. The prayers are set up on the board. We'll offer to our Gurudev, who's given us all of these books and teachings. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at His lotus feet, and to all the Vaishnavas who have helped us on this path. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripasindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I also offer my respectful obeisances unto the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just like desire trees and can fulfill the desires of everyone. They are full of compassion for the fallen, conditioned souls. See, we have another guest here. Welcome. Welcome, Ellie. Have a seat if you can. All right, let's move the slideshow to the next slide. And we'll read the verses. We'll sing the verses that we chant before reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And you can sing along with me at home with your mics off. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Oh, thank you for moving that slide to the next one. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim sarasvatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Shrinvatam Svakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantasto Hyabadrani Vidunoti Suritsatam. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, Supersoul, in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee, who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. The last one. Nashta prayeshva badreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. And we want to be on plate 5. Can you advance that to plate 5? We'll get there. That one. That one? That doesn't look right. How about the next one? Plate 6. Yep, that's the one. All right, so we are on, what did I say, page 80 of the PDF or page 59 of the book. And I will read the words individually and then grouping in phrases so that you can get the whole verse down together. So text 4. Naimishe minisha. Naimishe nimisha kshetre. Naimishe nimisha kshetre. Here there's something flashing on chat. Hey, Hare Krishna, Ellie. Nice to see you. All right, the second line. Rishaya shonaka. Rishaya shonaka dyaha. Rishaya shonaka dayaha. Third line. Satram svarga. Svargaya lokaya. Satram svargaya lokaya. Sahasra samam asata. Sahasra samam asata. All right, let's do it all together. Naimishe nimisha kshetre. Vishaya shonakaya daya. Satram svagaya lokaya. Sahasra samam asata. And the word for word. Naimishe, in the forest known as Naimisharanya. Animisha kshetre, the spot which is especially a favorite of Vishnu, who does not close his eyelids. Rishayaha, sages. Shonaka Ardayaha, headed by the sage Shonaka. Satram, sacrifice. Svargaya, the Lord who is glorified in heaven. Lokaya, and for the devotees who are always in touch with the Lord. Sahasra, 1,000. Samam, years. Asata, performed. Translation. Once, in a holy place in the forest of Naimisharanya, the great sages, headed by the sage Shonaka, assembled to perform a great 1,000-year sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord and his devotees. Purport. The prelude of the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken in the previous 3 shlokas. Now the main topic of this great literature is being presented. Srimad Bhagavatam, after its first recitation by Srila Shukadev Goswami, was repeated for the second time at Naimisharanya. In the Vaya Tantra, it is said that Brahma, the engineer of this particular universe, contemplated a great wheel which could enclose the universe. The hub of this great circle was fixed at a particular place known as Naimisharanya. Similarly, there is another reference to the forest of Naimisharanya in the Varaha Purana, where it is stated that by performance of sacrifice at this place, the strength of demoniac people is curtailed. Thus, Brahmanas prefer Naimisharanya for such sacrificial sacrifices or performances. The devotees of Lord Vishnu offer all kinds of sacrifices for his pleasure. The devotees are always attached to service of the Lord, whereas fallen souls are attached to the pleasures of material existence. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that anything performed in the material world for any reason other than for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu causes further bondage for the performer. It is enjoined, therefore, that all acts must be performed sacrificially for the satisfaction of Vishnu and his devotees. This will bring everyone peace and prosperity. Kandita asks, are we supposed to repeat after you out loud? Sorry. Oh, the verses, are you referring to the verses that I just read? The verse for today? No, you'd have to read that in your own version of Bhagavatam. So I have it here in a box, a link to the first canto here in the temple room. Yes, we decided to follow and repeat with mics off, yes. Sorry about the confusion. We'll get it down after a while, right? This is only our third chanting session. We'll get it down. Okay, sorry for the confusion. The great sages are always anxious to do good to the people in general, and as such, the sages headed by Shonaka and others assembled at this holy place of Naimisharanya for the program of performing a great and continuous chain of sacrificial ceremonies. Forgetful men do not know the right path for peace and prosperity. However, the sages know it well, and therefore for the good men, they are always anxious to perform acts which may bring about peace in the world. They are sincere friends to all living entities, and at the risk of great personal inconvenience, they are always engaged in the service of the Lord for the good of all people. Lord Vishnu is just like a great tree, and all others, including the demigods, men, siddhas, charanas, vidyadharas, and other living entities, are like branches, twigs, and leaves of that tree. By pouring water on the root of the tree, all the parts of the tree are automatically nourished. Only those branches and leaves which are detached cannot be so satisfied. Detached branches and leaves dry up gradually, despite all watering attempts. Similarly, human society, when it is detached from the personality of Godhead, like detached branches and leaves, is not capable of being watered, and one attempting to do so is simply wasting his energy and resources. The modern materialistic society is detached from its relationship to the Supreme Lord, and all its plans, which are being made by atheistic leaders, are sure to be baffled in every step. Yet they do not wake up to this. In this age, the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord is the prescribed method for waking up. Ways and means are most scientifically presented by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and intelligent persons may take advantage of his teachings in order to bring about real peace and prosperity. Srimad Bhagavatam is also presented for this same purpose, and this will be explained more specifically later in the text. So plate 6, which we have up on the board, is referring to this assembly of sages. Text 5. All right, let's see if we can do it this time. So I'll say the words. You can say them at home or wherever it is that you are with the mic off. And we'll try and string all the words together to phrases. And then eventually the whole verse. Ta ekada tu, ta ekada tu, Muniyaha ta ekadatu muniyaha pratar huta hutak hutaknayaha pratar hutaknayaha satkritam sutam asinam satkritam sutam asinam prachur idam adarat prachur idam adarat. Right, let's do the whole thing together. Ta ekadatu muniyaha pratar hutagnayaha satkritam sutam asinam prachur idam adarat. Word for word. Te, the sages. Ekada, one day. Tu, but. Muniyaha, sages. Prataha, morning. Huta, burning. Huta agnayaha, the sacrificial fire. Satkritam, due respects. Sutam, Sri Suta Goswami. Asinam, seated on. Prachuhu, made inquiries. Idam, on this, as follows. Adarat, with due regards. Translation. One day, after finishing their morning duties by burning a sacrificial fire and respectfully offering a seat to Srila Suta Goswami, the great sages made earnest inquiries about the following matters. Report. Morning is the best time to hold spiritual services. Great sages offered the speaker of the Bhagavatam an elevated seat of respect called the Vyasasana, or the seat of Sri Vyasadeva. Sri Vyasadeva is the original spiritual preceptor for all men, and all other preceptors are considered to be his representatives. A representative is one who can exactly present the viewpoint of Sri Vyasadeva. Sri Vyasadeva impregnated the message of Bhagavatam unto Srila Sukadeva Goswami, and Sri Suta Goswami heard it from him, Sri Shukadeva Goswami. All bona fide representatives of Sri Vyasadeva in the chain of disciplic succession are to be understood to be Goswamis. These Goswamis restrain all their senses, and they stick to the path made by the previous acharyas. The Goswamis do not deliver lectures on the Bhagavatam capriciously. Rather, they execute their services most carefully, following their predecessors who delivered this spiritual message unbroken to them. Those who listen to the Bhagavatam may put questions to the speaker in order to elicit the clear meaning, but this should not be done in a challenging spirit. One must submit questions with a great regard for the speaker and the subject matter. This is also the way recommended in Bhagavad Gita. One must learn the transcendental subject by submissive oral reception or from the right sources. Therefore, these sages address the speaker, Suta Goswami, with great respect. So I have a slide up here I wanted to show you. I think it showed up at the very beginning, so let me scroll through these slides. Right here. So the sages are asking 6 questions, and the beginning part of Srimad Bhagavatam, and then they are elaborated more in the rest of the cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, the 12 different cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we'll go over these questions as they come up, but I wanted to alert you to these questions first so that you could see what they are. So, let's see if I have them here on my computer. Nope, I'm going to have to read from there. The first question is, what is the ultimate good for all people? And that question we'll probably read next week. Uh-oh, now I have all kinds of, okay. I'm sorry, I can't really see the questions. I'm sorry. Hang on, let me fix this so I can see them. All right. The second question is, what is the essence of religious scriptures by which the actual self becomes satisfied? The third question, why did the Lord appear and take birth from Devaki? The fourth one, tell us of the acts the Lord performs in relationship to creating the material world. And 5, describe the activities of the incarnations of the Lord. And 6, where has Dharma gone now that Krishna has left the earth? Oh gosh. Well, I think that I apologize for the naked lady, but I think that happens when people come right into the room. Oh, there she is. Can we ban her? Lisa Mena. Lisa, it's not really appropriate. Dr. Mimulus, can you take care of that, please? Thank you. So sorry about that. It is Second Life. It is thank you, he ejected her. It is a public temple, but, if you're not behaving properly, you don't get to stay. Sorry about that, Lisa, but yep, it's adults. All right, let's continue. So those are the 6 questions, and we'll continue with our reading. We're on text 6, page 83 of the PDF. And we'll do the same method. Vishaya uchuhu. Vishaya uchuhu. Tvaya kalu. Tvaya kalu. Puranani. Tvaya kalu puranani. Setihasani Janaka. Setihasani Janaka. Akyatanyapi. Aditani. Akyatanyapi aditani. Dharma shastrani. Dharma shastrani. Yani uta. Dharma shastrani yani uta. Right, let's try the whole verse. Vishaya uchu. Tvaya kalu puranani. Setihasani chanaka. Akyayantanyapi aditani. Dharma shastrani yanyuta. Sorry, I think this is the wrong note for me. I won't make you suffer through that again, so let's just do the word for word. Vishaya, the sages. Uchu said, Tvaya, by you. Kalu, undoubtedly. Pura, nani, supplements to the Vedas with illustrative narrations. Sa itihasani, along with the histories. So itihasa, those are the histories. Cha, and anaga, freed from all vices. Akyantani, explained, api, although, adhitani, well read, dharma shastrani, scriptures, giving right directions to progressive life, yani, all these, uta, said. There's a comment here. Ellie says, temple says to remove the shoes even. Bhaktiville says, we must be in New York. I bet this happened to Prabhupada. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure those things happened. Well, she's, avadut, right? Dressed like the avadutas, who don't care about those things. All right, translation. The sages said, respected Sutta Goswami, you are completely free from all vice. You are well versed in all religious scriptures, the Puranas and histories, for you have gone through them under proper guidance and have also explained them. Purport. A Goswami, or the bona fide representative of Sri Vyasadeva, must be free from all kinds of vices. The four major vices of Kali Yuga are 1. Illicit connection with women, 2. Animal slaughter, 3. Intoxication, 4. Speculative gambling of all sorts. And I think I'd like to add to that first one, I think it's just illicit connection with whoever you're sexually attracted to, with men, women, whoever. A Goswami must be free from all these vices before he can dare sit on the Vyasasana. No one should be allowed to sit on the Vyasasana who is not spotless in character and who is not freed from the above-mentioned vices. He should not only be freed from all such vices, but he must also be well versed in all revealed scriptures or in the Vedas. The Puranas are also parts of the Vedas, and histories like the Mahabharata or the Ramayana are also parts of the Vedas. The Acharya, or the Goswami, must be well acquainted with all these literatures. To hear and explain them is more important than reading them. One can only assimilate the knowledge of the revealed scriptures by hearing and explaining. Hearing is called Shravana, and explaining is called Kirtana. The two processes of Shravana and Kirtana are of primary importance to progressive spiritual life. Only one who has properly grasped the transcendental knowledge from the right source by submissive hearing can properly explain the subject. Bhaktiville says, I don't remember hearing that definition of kirtan. No, me either. But I think it makes total sense, right? Yes. And I do know that if you understand something, you can explain it. And by explaining it, you understand it better. So I think that, to me, this makes total sense. That if you understand something, you can explain it, and then by explaining it, you understand it even more. So, Bhaktiville says, yes, you have to look at it each time you explain it. Yes. You have to look at it each time you explain it. Yes. All right, I think we're going to do one more verse. Let's see if I can get my right note here. Yani Veda Vidam, Yani Veda Vidam, Shrishto, Yani Veda Vidam Shrishto, Bhagavan Badarayanaha, Bhagavan Badarayanaha, Anyecha Munayaha, Anyecha Munaya, Sutta Anye cha munaya sutta paravara vido viduhu paravara vido viduhu. Right, let's do the whole verse. Yani Veda Vidam Shreshto Bhagavan Badarayanaha Anye Cha Munaya Sutta Paravara Vido Vidu. Word for word. Yani, all that. Veda Vidam, scholars of the Vedas. Shreshtaha, senior most. Bhagavan, incarnation of Godhead. Badarayanaha, Vyasadeva. Anye, others. Cha, and. Munayaha, the sages. Sutta, O Sutta Goswami. Paravaravidaha, amongst the learned scholars, one who was conversant with physical and metaphysical knowledge. Viduhu, one who knows. Translation. Being the eldest learned Vedantist, O Sutta Goswami, you are acquainted with the knowledge of Vyasadeva, who is the incarnation of Godhead, and you also know other sages who are fully versed in all kinds of physical and metaphysical knowledge. Purport. Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentation on the Brahma Sutra, or the Badarayana Vedanta Sutras. It is called natural because Vyasadeva is author of both Vedanta Sutras, as well as Srimad Bhagavatam, or the essence of all Vedic literatures. Besides Vyasadeva, there are other sages who are the authors of 6 different philosophical systems, namely Gautama, Kanada, Kapila, Patanjali, Jaimini, and Ashtavakra. Theism is explained completely in the Vedanta Sutra, whereas in other systems of philosophical speculations, practically no mention is given to the ultimate cause of all causes. One can sit on the Vyasasana only after being conversant in all systems of philosophy, so that one can present fully the theistic views of the Bhagavatam in defiance of all other systems. Srila Sutta Goswami was the proper teacher, and therefore the sages at Naimisharanya elevated him to the Vyasasana. Srila Vyasadeva is designated herein as the personality of Godhead because he is the authorized incarnation. I don't know, should we do one more? Were there other systems? No, they're not. They're not theistic. They're mostly Mayavadi. Those people are there? Yes, they're there to listen attentively and submissively, right? Shall we read one more verse? Okay, one more verse. Verse 8. Veta tvam somya Veta tvam somya tat sarvam Veta tvam somya tat sarvam tatvatas tad anugrahat tatvatas tad anugrahat bruyuhu. When there's that uhu there in the middle of the line, we don't usually say the uhu part. Bengalis will give a little extra breath, so it'll be bruyu. I'll do that. I don't really know the difference. I mean, I can hear the difference, but I won't do the extra breath. But just to say. Bengalis do that. Snigdhasya bruyu snigdhasya shishyasya bruyu snigdhasya shishyasya guravo guhyam guravo guhyam apyuta guravo guhyam apyuta. Right, the whole thing. Vetatvam samyatat sarvam tatvatastad anugrahat bruyusniktasya shishyasya guravo guhyam apyuta. Word for word. Veta, you are well conversant. Tvam, your honor. Somya, one who is pure and simple. Tat, those. Sarvam, all. Tatvataha, in fact. Tat, there. Anugrahat, by the favor of. Bruyuhu, will tell. Snigdasya, of the one who is submissive. Shishyasya, of the disciple. Guravaha, the spiritual masters. Guhyam, secret. Api uta, endowed with. Translation. And because you are submissive, your spiritual masters have endowed you with all their favors. Therefore, you can tell us all you have learned from them. Purport. Secret of success in spiritual life is satisfying the spiritual master and thereby getting his sincere blessings. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has sung in his famous 8 stanzas on the spiritual master as follows. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master. Only by his satisfaction can one please the personality of Godhead. And when he is dissatisfied, there is only havoc on the path of spiritual realization. It is essential, therefore, that a disciple be very much obedient and submissive to the bona fide spiritual master. Srila Sutta Goswami fulfilled all these qualifications as a disciple, and therefore he was endowed with all favors by his learned and self-realized spiritual masters, such as Srila Vyasadeva and others. The sages of Naimisharanya were confident that Srila Sutta Goswami was bona fide. Therefore, they were very anxious to hear from him. So we'll stop here, and next week we'll start with the very first question. What is the ultimate good for all the people? That's the first question, or the first inquiry. Bhaktiville says, this could make us famous as the only reading of Bhagavatam with a naked lady. Well, you know, there are people in India who are naked, not usually women, mostly men. They're called sky-clad, and they say that they are clad with just clouds, just with sky. Avadutas. India has it all. It does indeed. All right, any questions or comments about these verses that we read today? This is all preliminary, right, to setting the scene. So right now we can envision ourselves sitting with the sages at Naimisharanya, listening to Shukadeva Goswami. It's a nice meditation. That's why that picture that we had up there, plate 6, is so enveloping. You can put yourself right there, because these are the words. This is what they were talking about so many thousands of years ago. This is what they were talking about. These are questions that people have today. This is the perennial philosophy. The same questions, the same answers, it's the same. We all have these questions, and these are the answers. Srimad Bhagavatam. All right, thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada who brought this to us. Hare Krishna.